Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm going to be reacting to 6 most disturbing burglars caught on home security camera footage by chilling scares. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn the lights off again so you can see the screen better, and turn you guys over to the computer screen. Let's get this reaction on the road, shall we? Alright, here we go.
In 2023, news of a string of break-ins started to spread in Franklin Township on the southeast side of Indiana.
Okay.
According to the news reports, thousands of residents were afraid to leave their houses after hearing about a thief who had ransacked over 24 cars and homes in less than a week.
What? He must be one fast burglar. Or he probably has some help. Anyway.
On Tuesday, July 13th of that year, a woman named Carla Wilson woke up to find that some of her jewelry was missing.
That ain't good.
Confused, she walked around her house looking for where she could have possibly left the jewelry, and that's when she noticed her front door was open. In a panic, she looked through her Ring camera footage from the previous evening, where she was shocked to see some grown man walking around her garage in the middle of the night.
Oh, that is creepy. Should have had the garage door closed.
In the video, a bearded man wearing a hoodie to cover his face can be seen walking around Carla Wilson's garage and grabbing a can of WD-40. As per the victim's statement, the man first broke into the victim's family car, which was parked outside a few days ago. This is where he had stolen the car's garage door opener, which is how he was able to get into the garage in the first place. The man simply pressed the button to open the garage, broke into the Wilson's other car, which was inside her garage, and stole money, an iPhone, and a pair of sunglasses. Though still unsatisfied with all of this, the man then sprayed the WD-40 he found in Carla's garage down the side of her door to prevent it from squeaking, then picked the lock to break into the house itself, where he can then be seen on another camera.
You should have known there were security cameras in there.
Upon entering the home, the man walked straight to Carla's bedroom and saw her sleeping directly in front of him. Unfazed, the man proceeded to casually stroll around the living room for about a minute as he stole multiple pieces of jewelry, including the victim's favorite diamond ring, all while she was sleeping in the next room over with the door open.
That is creepy to think that somebody would be breaking into your house and then they stare at you while you're sleeping. That's just wrong.
Thankfully, Carla slept right through the incident, and after spending 7 minutes in her house, the thief walked out the front door and never came back. For the cops, it was obvious that the man was an experienced burglar, and it's pretty creepy how well prepared he was to rob Carla's house, even taking measures to prevent the door from squeaking. This led the police to believe he alone was responsible for all the dozens of break-ins that were occurring in the area in the last week.
Maybe.
It must have been incredibly disturbing for Carla to look at her Ring camera and find this man walking around her home with ill intentions and watching her in such a vulnerable state, knowing that he could have hurt her if he wanted to. Fortunately, though, Carla woke up the next morning unscathed and was able to use the video to warn her neighbors. Although it's pretty common for burglars with this many successful robberies to eventually get caught during one of their dozens of attempts, this time the man was never identified.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So you mean to tell me that this guy is still on the loose somewhere? I hope he don't come over in our territory. Anyway, let me pull out story number 2 now.
On June 18th, 2017, a man named Jeff D. came home from work at 3:45 a.m. and found that his house had been ransacked and vandalized by an unknown intruder. Thinking a video might serve as evidence,
Okay, folks, there's so many things here they could have stolen.
Yeah, what do they have to gain just breaking into somebody's place and then, sleeping on the couch, drinking his Kool-Aid? And then, I don't know why you had to turn over some of his furniture and stuff. This is wrong.
as soon as he records the damage, it becomes pretty clear that this is no ordinary burglary. Instead of taking any valuables, the thief ate Jeff's food from the fridge, turned the place upside down, and didn't even bother to clean up the evidence of his intrusion, including a glass of Kool-Aid and a slice of pizza he left on the floor next to the couch.
If that was my property, I would not say that would be fun right there. I'll be furious if everything was broken.
But when he goes under in the victim's bed, the cops ask the intruder if he's under the influence of drugs. And even though he denies it, it's pretty clear that he is sleeping in a...
Yeah, if he's acting like he don't know his own name or going through somebody else's prescription medication, he was on drugs. Clear and simple.
On Monday, July 25th, 2016, a man named Jack McArcher and his girlfriend Jordan Baranskis came back from dinner at a restaurant near their home in Chicago and fell asleep watching TV on the couch, as they often like to do. The next day, Jordan realized her purse was missing, leading to an argument in which Jack accused her of leaving it at the restaurant. To find out what really happened and put the matter to rest, the couple retraced their steps by scrolling through the previous night's surveillance videos. When they rewound the tape to around 3:30 a.m., they found something pretty terrifying.
What is that guy doing on top of the steps?
A man who the couple didn't know stood at the top of their stairway looking down at them sleeping on the couch below.
Oh, that is creepy.
He had apparently snuck in through their unlocked front door, silently walked past them up the stairs, and proceeded to stare down at them for a total of 4 minutes, just hovering above them as he watched them sleep. Disturbingly, the man moved so slowly and quietly through the house that he didn't even wake up the couple's 2 dogs who were sleeping at Jack and Jordan's feet next to the couch.
Yeah,
As soon as the couple reported the incident to the cops, the sheriff mentioned he suspected the same man was probably responsible for other neighborhood burglaries that had taken place in the days leading up to the break-in of Jack and Jordan's house. In the days following the incident, some nearby residents even uploaded pictures to Facebook of the intruder casually riding through dark alleys on a bike and attempting to break into homes. And after reviewing their doorbell footage, it's clear the man was looking for an entryway into any one of the homes. It's pretty strange to see how someone who managed to sneak into a house undetected by the couple and their 2 dogs decided to only walk away with a purse, but thankfully the thought of harming the victims never entered his head.
Thank God.
In an interview with WGN-TV, Jordan said she liked to think the man was watching the TV and not them sleeping on the couch, but that much would be impossible to confirm. After the incident, the couple were left understandably shaken. But despite their efforts to warn their neighbors and the manhunt that followed the disturbing incident, the suspect was never found.
He better be glad that he wasn't found, because then a lot of people be like mad as I don't know what, being like, why are you breaking into our houses and everything? I'll be mad too if I saw somebody on the top of the stairway just looking at the TV and I don't know the person, you know what I mean?
Flushing, Queens is generally considered by its residents to be a relatively safe place to live. But in 2015, footage of an incident at a house on 33rd Avenue near Union Street went viral and put a lot of the neighborhood's residents on edge. One night in late November of that year, security cameras caught a man wearing a backpack and a black cap with the word "Diamond" written on it, casually walking up to the front door of this 4-bedroom house. After entering through the unlocked back door, the intruder can be seen prowling around the house on his tiptoes to avoid detection. And a few minutes later, he drops to his hands and knees and crawls on the floor while holding what appears to be a knife between his teeth. Disturbingly, the homeowners were lying in the bed in that same room while the burglar crawled around and snagged his cell phone from one of the dressers.
He's going all commando right here. I wouldn't put no knife in my teeth for nothing.
Although this was the end of the video that was released by police, the seconds that followed were even more intense, as the homeowner revealed that just moments later he was woken up by the sound of the intruder crawling on the floor. Upon seeing the homeowner jolt out of the bed, the suspect immediately got up and fled, and fortunately nobody was injured during the incident. During the investigation, police described the suspect as 6'2" and 200 pounds, but despite the incriminating footage, they were never able to find him. It's pretty disturbing to imagine what he was planning on using the knife for, especially considering that, along with the 2 adults in the same room, there were also 3 kids in the house at the time of the break-in. After the incident, the homeowners mentioned they learned their lesson and never left their back door unlocked again. As for the suspect, what he went on to do with his life is anyone's guess.
Yeah, don't leave your door unlocked if you got kids. That's number one right there. And as for the suspect, he's very clever and knows how to hide from the law, I tell you. Alright, here goes number 5.
On the evening before Thanksgiving in 2020, Joey Archer, his wife Beth, and their young daughters were asleep in their home in Raynor, Washington, when they were suddenly woken up by the sound of their doorbell ringing ferociously at around 6:30 a.m. Immediately, Joey got up and ran to the front door, thinking it could be a neighbor in need of help. While her husband rushed to greet the stranger, Beth checked their security cameras and noticed that her car was no longer in the driveway. To her horror, she also saw a bearded man she didn't recognize trying to break into Joey's car with a shovel.
Are you that stupid?
Shocked at what he saw when he arrived at the front door,
Dude, just
Joey
climbs right
decided
in.
not to confront the unstable intruder and immediately called the police to report the incident while he helplessly watched the man damage his car with the shovel. While all this was happening, Beth ran to their 2 daughters' bedrooms to let them know that someone was trying to break into their house and told them to jump out the window and run to the family's barn to hide while they figured out what to do. As the girls ran to the barn, Joey noticed the stranger had taken his attention off the car and was now using the shovel to break down their front door. Realizing his life and the safety of his family was now in danger, after the intruder had broken the glass on the door, he yanked the shovel out of his hands at just the right moment and used it to hit him on the head twice before chasing him out into the yard and subduing him while he waited for the cops to arrive.
There you go. That guy was probably on some sort of drugs or something, I don't know.
Following the incident, the family chose not to identify the man due to safety concerns, but the cops promptly charged him with residential burglary, criminal trespassing, and vehicle prowling. Still confused as to how the man had gotten into their property, the Archers reviewed the footage and looked at everything the intruder had done prior to them waking up, including jumping over the fence to get into their driveway. As they soon realized, the man had been on their property for about half an hour before they woke up, rummaging through their garage and backing one of their cars into a ditch. In a Facebook post he made after the incident, Joey described the invasion as every dad's worst nightmare and encouraged other nearby residents to install security cameras for their family's safety. After the nightmare the Archers went through, Joey bought a shotgun and a pistol and upgraded his barn's security and surveillance systems to prevent a similar incident from happening again.
There you go.
As for the intruder, it was never confirmed if he was under the influence of something at the time of the invasion.
It probably
But
was.
the fact that he rang the doorbell for several minutes before trying to break into the car and then the house suggests he was likely not in his right mind.
No.
It's possible the man was suffering from the effects of a pretty severe mental illness. But
Well, that
because
too.
the Archers decided to keep the case private, we'll likely never know for sure. This footage was recorded in March 2019 by security cameras in an apartment in the Bronx, New York. The disturbing footage shows an intruder prowling around a baby's nursery, where a 2-month-old baby lay sleeping in her crib. Although the suspect doesn't seem to be showing any interest in the sleeping child, it's still pretty disturbing to see him do something so evil and selfish right in front of an innocent baby. After rifling through the baby's bedroom for a couple of minutes, the suspect was scared off by the sound of the baby's 32-year-old father walking around in the living room. But instead of calling it a night, the man then broke into another apartment on a different floor of the same building, which belonged to a 28-year-old woman. This time, his burglary attempt was successful, and he got away with some jewelry, a bicycle, and a backpack. As it was later revealed, the man entered both of the apartments through the unsecured fire exit windows. Even though the man's face can be seen pretty clearly in the footage, and the NYPD put out a Crime Stoppers alert on him, after the man fled the area, he was never seen again. It's possible that he went on to burglarize more homes in the same neighborhood after that night, but we'll likely never know for sure.
Okay, one, I'm kind of peed off that this guy right here wanted to go around trying to steal something out of a baby's nursery. I mean, really, dude. And two, you go to a 28-year-old girl's apartment and steal her bike. What in the world is wrong with these people? I don't know what they got to gain out of this stuff, but unless they make a quick buck selling this stuff. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more chilling scare content like this. This has been another successful installment of Tin Man's Corner channel. I'm Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. Sayonara.